Alright, why I sold my Skyline to buy an Evo. Back in 2011, I was looking to get myself into the JDM world after getting flogged by multiple friends in my Australian cars. Had a few options I was looking at. I was looking at an RX-7, I was looking at a Supra, but I ended up landing on the Skyline. So I picked it up, it was completely standard, it was an auto. Got it home, spent a couple of months with it. I think I did an exhaust, I did some wheels, of course I did a stereo. So I drove that around for a couple of months, and it was around this time that I met the guys down at Garage Stand Goku.
I like Garage Stand Goku, if you haven't done it, fuck off!
So it wasn't long after meeting the guys down there that we did a much needed manual conversion which completely changed the car. And I was pretty happy with it, I drove that for a bit. But all the boys were doing their cars, bigger turbos, bigger fuel systems, couldn't keep up, so I decided it was my turn. So I picked myself up a turbo, fuel system, exhaust, everything I needed, put that on, and took it up to check and tuning. Trent worked his magic up there, ended up making 310 kilowatts. I was pretty happy with the car. But there was another car that had always been on my mind. So I decided to sell the Skyline. Took a few months, but as soon as it was sold, I started shopping. There was a few different Evos all over Australia. But I landed on one in Sydney that had some really fucking sketchy pictures, but the mods were good, the kilometers were good. So I decided, fuck it. We're gonna go up, we're gonna go have a look. So I called up my mate Benny. I said, Benny, we're going up to Sydney, we're going to buy an Evo. He said, yeah, no fucking worries, book the tickets. So me and Benny jumped on a plane, got up there, jumped in an Uber. It took about 40 minutes, and I saw it.
I think that's, yeah, there it is. Fuck me. Oh my God. That's cool as come.
Had a quick look at the car, there was nothing untoward. So we gave the man his money, jumped in the Evo, started heading back towards Victoria. After a 9-hour drive, I dropped Ben home, got myself home at about 6 in the morning, went to bed. Wasn't until the next morning that I got to get up, really have a good look at the car, and really appreciate it. So I had a GTP 712 turbo, upgraded fuel pump, bigger intercooler, but it was a cheap core. What else did I have? Oh, and some fucking skits wheels. The previous owner said it made 220 kilowatts with that stuff, and I was pretty happy with that. It didn't feel too far off my Skyline, which was 310 kilowatts. Didn't have the top end, but off the line, definitely had the Skyline's number. So what are the plans for the car now? I went out, I picked up a PWR intercooler, and I picked up some bigger injectors, hoping to put them in, get it back on the dyno, and hopefully make a little bit more power. Because those GTP 712s are known for making a little bit more than 200 kilowatts. So I grabbed that stuff, got my friend Davo down from Lee Motor Co. So we started off giving it a quick service so that it was fresh going into the dyno day. It's a relatively simple process, took about 15 minutes, we'd be silly not to do it. After the service, we moved on to removing the front bar and the cooler. It was also a simple process, took us about 20 minutes to get that stuff off. The new PWR cooler gave us no hassles when we were fitting it. It was all simple, all the mounting points lined up perfectly, which is what you get when you buy good stuff. The only thing I didn't like was the front bar covered half the logo. Well, whatever. Then Bradley rocked up. We fucked around for a bit before getting into installing the injectors. Took us about 30 minutes to get everything off, including the fuel rail. And after about another hour, everything was fitted. And it was ready to go off to the tuner up at Check and Tuning, where I'd previously taken my Skyline. It was booked in. And then it happened. Coronavirus stage 2 lockdown. So they basically put up a wall around Melbourne. I live in Geelong, so I couldn't get my car up there. Called up Cat and Trent, had to postpone. So that meant pulling the injectors back out. So I couldn't drive it with them in there without it tuning. I've got no idea how to tune a car. And now I suppose we'll just wait. We'll wait for these restrictions. I think we're 2 weeks into a 6-week lockdown.
6-week lockdown.
So for now, I'm just going to drive and enjoy the car. I got some stereo bits I'm going to put in there. I might make a video on that. Other than that, I'm really happy with the car. I'm glad I finally got an Evo. Anyone who knows me knows I've wanted an Evo for many years. I just couldn't bring myself to sell the Skyline. But it's done now. Alright, and lastly, why I sold my Skyline to buy an Evo. For me, it was pretty simple. Skyline had 2 doors, Evo had 4. I'm a big fella, I'm getting older. I need 4 fucking doors. 2, it was newer. And 3, it's all-wheel drive. I've always wanted an all-wheel drive car. So they're the 3 reasons why I ended up picking to get an Evo over my Skyline. Thanks for stopping by. See you next time.
Yo, don't wanna be a part of your thing, nah. Don't wanna be a part of your team, nah. Sharp bars a thing on my team, not chasing the charts or starving for cream. You selling out, not selling out, but no dough, bojo, you selling out.